This is where your ice cream comes from. The creamy poop of a mystic unicorn. Totally clean, totally cool, and soft served straight from a sphincter.
Well, if I haven't lost you already, stick around. Because what you just heard is the first 10 seconds of the world's newest, most successful viral marketing video that's had 65 million views and increased sales for its creator by a lazy 600%. Oh, and it's for a thing called Squatty Potty. Don't worry, you'll find out.
Well, I said, welcome to a small business marketing show where successful small business owners share their souls to take your marketing straight to the lead. Now, here's your host, Mr. Timbo Reid.
And welcome back, listeners, to another episode of Australia's #1 marketing show. I'm your host, Timbo Reid. You're a motivated business owner, and that is significantly more important. And you're ready to crank out some great marketing to build that business of yours into the empire it deserves to be. So one day you can, I don't know, swing from a hammock, travel the world, do whatever you want to do. Hey, big show today, fun show today. We're joined by Bobby Edwards, the co-founder of Squatty Potty. He takes us behind the scenes of this viral marketing video that contains a unicorn that does rainbow poo. I should have put a poo warning at the start of the show. There it is. It's a poo warning. Right now, we're going to mention things like that. It won't get too graphic. It'll be funny more than graphic. I also share a productivity hack that's saving me plenty of time and adding some personality to my brand. You can too. And a motivational quote that involves, speaking of personalities, Steve Jobs and pirates. Yeah, what about that? Hey, today's show made possible by Net Registry. Have you used them yet? I hope so. They get your online marketing sorted. Check their exclusive listener packages out over at netregistry.com.au/Timbo. Including an SEO booster pack, which they've actually dropped the setup fee on that one. And we're also brought to you by Key Person of Influence, a 40-week incubator for business owners just like you, ready to become the go-to person in their industry. They've got this P process, a 5P process. It's worth investigating. Head over to keypersonofinfluence.com/Timbo. As per usual, team, there is marketing GOLD dripping from the ceiling over here at Small Business Big Marketing's HQ. So let's get stuck right in.
Do you need a speaker for your next conference? Recommend Timbo to your event organiser. Or better still, book him. Tim Reid, that's reid.com.au.
Hey, so I just want to share a little productivity hack that I've been using of recent times that's saving me time and adding a little bit more personality to my business, which I think is important. It's a way of standing out in a crowded marketplace, which we all operate in. If you don't operate in a crowded marketplace, can you let me know? Be interested to know what industry that is. Anyway, I digress. So I get a lot of email, right? Who doesn't? Email overwhelm. Jeez. And I have never learnt to touch type. Should see me type. All thumbs. All thumbs. It is embarrassing. Wish I had have learnt to touch type. I know it's not too late, but gee, it's impressive when you see people look at the screen and type away. And I like speaking more than typing anyway. It's more personal. So I've been replying to a lot of email recently using a cool little app I found in the App Store called Simple Recorder. It's in the Apple App Store because I'm an Apple kind of guy. If you're on the dark side, in the land of PC, I'm sure there is an equally good app like Simple Recorder. All you do is a little icon that sits at the very top of your screen. When you want to record yourself saying something, you literally hit this round black dot and it opens up your microphone. You go talk, 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 talk. You hit stop. It drops the MP3 file on your desktop, which you then drag into your email. Hello. How easy is that? And people love it. People respond saying, "Oh, thanks for getting back to me," and love the personalised voice email. and they're quite small files, so don't freak out. Like about a minute is it's equivalent to about a meg. Yeah, that's about how it goes. So there you go, little productivity hack. Save time, add personality to your business. What do you do to save time or add personality to your business? I'd love to know what your productivity hack is. I might share it on an upcoming show if you share it with me. So head over to the show notes over at smallbusinessbigmarketing.com and leave it in episode 294's show notes. I'll look out for it and we'll share it in an upcoming episode. Righto, let's get stuck into today's guest. Bobby Edwards is his name. He's based in Utah and he is the co-founder, along with his dear old mum, who was constipated. They're the co-founder of Squatty Potty. That's fantastic. Now, go and watch the video. Pause and go and Google Squatty Potty unicorn video. Here, I'll put some on hold music on while you do that. Righto, you're back? Cool. How good was it? Hey, if you chose not to, then let me briefly explain the video. It involves a handsome, fancy-speaking prince from the 1500s. I think it's sort of the 1500s, a long time ago. And a cute white unicorn. So the prince explains how we don't sit properly on the toilet when doing number twos because sitting puts a kink in our lower intestine. Instead, we should squat. Meanwhile, in the background, the unicorn is demonstrating all of this by pushing out rainbow-coloured poos with glitter on it that look like ice creams. Are you confused? Don't worry. All is about to be revealed. It is a very, very clever viral marketing video. Just know that the production of this is very high. It's had 65 million views in the past 3 months and has increased sales of Squatty Potty from a pretty decent base already in the millions of dollars by 600%. I started off by asking Bobby, if he could be anyone in the world, who would he love to be?
Man. If I could be anyone in the world, I'm really lousy at these kind of questions because I don't, you always want to be rich, but then you also want to be happy. So it's finding that balance.
Go rich. Just go rich.
Do I want to be rich, fabulous, or happy, or? Well,
you're already fabulous, so just give us the rich. Who's the rich person you'd love to be?
Well, Oprah.
Yeah, right.
Okay. I've always been an admirer, and granted she's female, but I think she's done good with her money. She's done good for humanity. I think she's changed a lot of people's lives for the better, and continues to do so. So yeah. And she's filthy rich. Yeah. I've never followed her much. I mean, obviously very aware of what she does. She was in Australia recently, and from what I saw in terms of publicity, one thing I thought she got wrong were her ticket prices were in the hundreds of dollars. In fact, I think they were like $400 or $500, which just doesn't seem to resonate with me. No. Yeah. No, I don't think she gets everything right. So
that would seem an obvious thing.
I do think that she's happy. I do think that she's influential and I think she's also smart. So,
Good answer. Hey, on a much more serious note, Robbie, how is your colon these days?
Clean. Spotless.
No, it's not a question I've had on this show previously. Spotless. Good. And I'm guessing that is a result of this thing they call the Squatty Potty.
The Squatty Potty, yeah. So I guess that's why we're here, right?
It is. How on earth did this Squatty Potty come about?
Well, you've heard the saying, necessity is the mother of all invention. And my mother was constipated. So in her quest to help with her chronic constipation, she came across the concept of squatting to eliminate. And, to her, it made perfect sense. All the science was there. But unfortunately, we have toilets that require us to sit. There's no way to squat. So she kind of enlisted in my help to, create a stool that she could use to squat with around her toilet. So that's where I came into the picture. And we designed the Squatty Potty together, and it was successful. The results were nothing short of amazing and life-changing for her, actually. And so we knew we had something, and it was a secret that she wanted to share with everyone because it really had impacted her life for the better. And so she started giving them away as gifts, and started giving them away as presents, and to friends and family. And then word spread that Judy had a poop stool that was, helping people go, and orders came in. And then, after about a few months, we all quit our day jobs and started Squatty Potty.
Your day jobs, none of you, I'm guessing none of you are colon surgeons, if there is such a thing, or GPs. What were you all doing before bringing Squatty Potty to market?
No, I think, we were both definitely entrepreneurs in our own right. Mm-hmm. Her in a different form. She was a mother of 7. All of us have been out of the house for years.
That's a lot of colons.
Yeah. A lot of poop. And so she, after finishing the task of motherhood, she was doing some, kind of online selling in different marketplaces on different channels, eBay, Amazon, and, she would import trinkets and knickknacks and whatever and sell them online. So she, she was a little savvy in her own way. Mm-hmm. And I had been in the online marketing business in Los Angeles, and then even more recently started a construction business with my brother. So an entrepreneur type endeavors. We had our own business.
What is it then? I find that fascinating because what is it about that entrepreneurial mindset where you don't necessarily have an interest in colons or about pooping, or you don't have an interest, you might not even have an interest in construction, I don't know, but you see opportunities, do you? And
no, I didn't necessarily have an interest in construction. I enjoyed it. We had a great business and it was very successful, but I'll tell you what, I enjoy Squatty Potty more. It's much more exciting.
Why?
Because I'm not, working with my hands and breathing nasty fumes and doing, hard labor. It's different labor. It's definitely work, but it seems to be much, much more rewarding for me.
Isn't it wonderful? This is branding 101 here, because, and I'm going to get you to explain more at what Squatty Potty is, but essentially, it's a piece of modularized plastic, and yet you've created this whole story and emotion and life and color and you out of it, and you love it.
Well, that's what drew me to it was A, that it worked, but B, that it was novel and interesting and fun to talk about. It's kind of funny, right? You're squatting to poop. I thought people are going to like this. They don't know about this, and it works. That's the important thing. I'm not a snake oil salesman. I'm not interested in just hawking something that doesn't work. It had to work, and after several months of being in business and just the response from people, I knew that we had struck something here, and that's when that that's entrepreneurial gold, really. When you're like, oh yes, finally. Because you're searching for something to everyone has a passion, and everyone, I would definitely say seek that passion, but it just fell in our lap and we went with it.
Can you think back to the moment when that entrepreneur in you you've looked at your mum and gone, oh, hang on, I think we're onto something.
Yeah, no, it was. I know exactly when that was. We were sitting at the kitchen table. And, as everyone does, talks about bowel movements around dinner. And we just started, ideas just came like, one after the other, and we both fed off each other. And my dad was in the conversation too. And it was like, this is brilliant. This is really, really good. It's funny. I can picture the story. It's new and it's healthy. It's alternative health. It's green. It's yoga. It's paleo, it's all these, ancestral, it's all this cool stuff that really is marketing gold.
And once you got that to market, you found the courage, because there's business courage in any business decision. You've got it to market. Where was that point in time when everything you thought was actually confirmed?
So we created a video, not the unicorn video, our first video. It was $5,000. It was an animated graphic video done by a friend and written by my mom and I. And it had, within a few months, got a few million views just organically. We didn't pay to launch it or anything. It just went that way. Mm-hmm. And we, after a few months, we got a call from several news organizations nationwide wanting to talk about Squatty Potty. And I think particularly in that first 6 months, Dr. Oz called, which is a large daytime television show here. And he wanted to talk about Squatty Potty on the show. So that's when I knew that this was going to go somewhere.
That's huge. I'm actually looking at you've got about you've got 22 videos on your YouTube channel, and it's a wonderful progression of like where it's come from. You know, you've got some, I wouldn't say amateur videos, but you've got some testimonials, and then you have that appearance on the Dr. Oz show, and then you finally make it to the unicorn video, which obviously I want to talk about shortly. I actually don't think I've had you explain exactly what, just for listeners.
The Squatty Potty?
Yeah, it's an audio show. What does it do? What does it look like?
So anatomically, we're all the same, and we are designed to squat to eliminate. And the modern toilet, it's clean, it's sanitary, but it has one major fault. It requires we sit. So there's a problem there. We're designed to squat, we're sitting, and problems such as constipation and hemorrhoids and other ailments, we believe are linked to this incorrect toilet posture. So we created a stool. It's a small plastic. We have different types as well, but the number one seller is the plastic one by far. It's a small plastic stool that's shaped like a horseshoe, a U shape that tucks under the toilet. You have a seat. You slide it out and elevate your feet with it and simulate as close to you as can, as much as comfortable, a natural squat. And that facilitates a more effective and quicker and easier bowel movement.
Evacuation. So tell me, I've got to ask, why don't I just go and buy a plastic stool from the hardware shop?
Well, that's what we used at first to kind of start the concept. And it wasn't perfect, though. It really is not, it's not high enough or wide enough. It doesn't tuck out of its way. You'll be a lot more comfortable and a lot more effective using a Squatty Potty. It's like cutting a knife, or cutting a steak with a butter knife. You'll eventually get through that thing, but with a butter knife, or with a steak knife rather, it goes right through it. And that's like the Squatty Potty. It really is designed specifically for the task. So a stool is good. A Squatty Potty is great. And you can just search that online. People that have switched from a stool to a Squatty Potty will tell you hands down the Squatty Potty experience is definitely better.
Love it. I love it. Tell me the name, Robbie, Squatty Potty. I can't help but think, and I haven't come up with the alternative name, but the marketer in me thinks that it should have had the word stool in the name, because a potty.
We went through, of course, hundreds of names, and we still think about it. But if you've traveled to Asia, you'll know that they still squat, and the restrooms, the Westerners call the toilets in China Squatty Potties, or Thailand or India or Indonesia. They'll call them a Squatty Potty. And so it's kind of easy. It tells you what it is, but it doesn't have any kind of like cliche. I don't know. We thought of stool, the stool for stool. We still say the stool for better stools on our site.
Yeah, right. So it's in the sort of a tagline. I get it. I couldn't crack it, and I love naming things. So
it just kind of come up with the one that was right for everyone. And, I'm really happy we went with Squatty Potty, actually. I think it's perfect. It's fun. And, people love to say it. They say it. Yeah. You'll hear them talk about it. It's,
Agreed. Hey, listeners, I'm chatting with Bobby Edwards. He is the co-founder with his mum, who was constipated, of the Squatty Potty. Before I talk to him about this amazing video that they've created, here's a word from a couple of sponsors who want to help grow that beautiful business of yours. Support for this show comes from Net Registry. Recently, I was Skyping it up with Verity Ma, their Chief Marketing Officer, when the line deteriorated. She thought it may be because she had loads of browsers open, at which point I'm like, why so many browsers?
Well, because websites appear differently on different browsers. So if I run multiple, then I can get a sense of how our websites are tracking across different browsers and customers' websites.
Net Registry, where attention to detail rules. Visit netregistry.com.au/Timbo for a website that works on, well, all browsers. Support for this show comes from Key Person of Influence, a business accelerator program that reeks of success. I asked co-founder Glenn Carlson to share some breakthrough results.
Every day, I'm seeing people posting evidence of the transformation from them being an operator to being a key person of influence. So, as a result of them publishing a book, they're getting invited to speak at global conferences that they've only ever dreamed of attending, let alone being a speaker at. Or, an organisation decides to buy 3,000 of their new product, which they've just created, that they would never have been able to take 3,000 orders if they were just a single operator. Or their pitch, getting them into, a deal that is 10 times bigger. And we see evidence of this every single day. And I look at this every single day to the point where it's become the water I'm swimming in.
KPI, where the results speak for themselves. For a free hard copy of their Amazon bestseller, visit keypersonofinfluence.com/Timbo. Okay, Bobby, let's talk unicorns. Let's talk unicorn poo. Let's talk colons. Let's talk everything. This video is amazing, mate. Now, can you, because this is audio only, you just can you describe it for our listeners so that they get an understanding of what a big production it is?
Well, I don't know if you've seen the Princess Bride. That was our inspiration for the Prince, and it's got a kind of a chauvinistic prince, and he's in his regal wear, and he's out in the field with a apparatus that's making ice cream cones, and then you pan out and you notice it's a unicorn that's actually pooping magical, delicious, creamy ice cream cones.
In rainbow colours with sparkles.
Rainbow colours, yeah, it sparkles. So you've got a puppet unicorn pooping ice cream cones, and the prince giving them to the village people. Not the village people, the group, the people of the village.
Yeah, I've got you. Not the cowboy and the policeman and the no. The production, it's so big. In fact, listeners, let me just play you 10 seconds of it just to get a sense of how the prince talks.
Now your colon's open and ready for battle. That's because our bodies were made to poop in a squat, and now there's a product that lets you squat in your own home. Introducing the Squatty Potty. No, Squatty Potty is not a joke. And yes, it will give you the best poop of your life, guaranteed. I don't just mean you bloated lords and hemorrhoidal ladies.
The production is massive. It looks expensive, and it's such. What I love about it is it's such a big idea. So, how did it come about?
Well, so we, again, going back to the kitchen table and that first idea, when I knew this could be big, I talked about a video that I'm like, this is the perfect product for a viral video. We've got to create that. And so this was 5 years ago, and it took us 5 years to create it. There are several editions cut on the editing room floor that never made it out because it didn't quite fit the bill. The first attempt was, dressing some kids in some poop costumes and dropping them off the pool, which is a popular euphemism in the States for, going to the bathroom, dropping the kids off.
Yeah.
And but that didn't work. It wasn't funny. So, we went to another agency, and they brought up the idea of a unicorn pooping ice cream. And my parents were like, no, that's too strange. And I was like, I'm curious. I didn't like it or hate it. I was curious to hear more. And as soon as we heard the script, we all knew that it was really, really funny. And we went ahead with it. I mean, we had done nothing like that before. We had always stayed pretty clean and pretty, we always had a bit of tongue-in-cheek humor, but it was nothing as blatant as the pooping unicorn. And so it was kind of a gamble. It felt like a real gamble to me to surrender by we were doing multi-millions a year, to surrender this brand to a unicorn. but we did it, and it has really paid off.
Okay, there's so much there I want to unpack. The fact is, you actually set out to create a viral video. Now, I've spoken to a lady who's created the most viral marketing video in the world, which was First Kiss. I spoke to Melissa a couple of years ago. She didn't set out to create a viral video. I've spoken to Tom Dixon from Will It Blend. I've spoken to him. He has set out to create viral videos, but it's not very common. So well done on actually setting that as a goal, because sometimes what goes viral is not expected to go viral. You know, it just touches the heart.
Yeah, the most viral of all videos, of course, were not meant to be viral.
No.
So very few, I mean, it is like winning the lottery.
Yeah,
very few intentional viral videos go viral.
So the second part that you mentioned is that you've employed an agency. Now, I didn't ask you to share your numbers, which I often do, but you were selling millions. You were doing millions in Squatty Potty. So there was some money there to reinvest in.
There was, yeah. That's what we wanted to. That's what I wanted to do. I knew that it was expensive. It wasn't inexpensive. To create that video would be about $250 to $500K. So, you know, not cheap, not super expensive, you know, not a big budget.
I thought it would have been more.
No, that was our budget was 500.
So second thing is you go employ an agency. Good on you. There, okay. So you handed over the creative challenge to the agency.
Right.
Just out of interest, how did you choose the agency?
They had done videos that we liked.
Okay, great. I always say that to listeners. Find a logo you like and employ that graphic designer. Find some copy you like to read and employ that copywriter. That makes sense.
Yeah, no, we were after them. We wanted them, but we never had it. We really couldn't afford them in the beginning. So we were finally at a point where we could. And
the third part of it, Bobby, is the idea. And this is I've spent 10 years in advertising. I know the power of the idea. Many clients didn't. Many clients felt threatened by big ideas that were emotional and, dare I say, entertaining. They just wanted to tell you the facts about their product, their beautiful product. They wanted to live in the world of rational. So there's a lot of courage in buying a big idea that is much more around storytelling and emotion. Your mum and dad were obviously a little bit kind of taken back. You know, the groovy son, hey, you're a bit more in touch. How did you end up getting everyone on board?
It really wasn't me. I feel it was the script that really sold the concept. Finally, we met in the mountains of Utah, and they had several different concepts, and this script really, you know, the cream floats to the top, and it was really a great script. And my parents were really, after they read the script or heard the script read, from there it was, let's do this. How do we do it? Let's make it as good as we possibly can, because we really, really think it's funny.
There would have been a few people, or didn't you share it? Was there a few naysayers going, "You crazy man? A unicorn, rainbow poo?"
There were several investors that we didn't show until the day before we released it.
Love it. Love it. What did they say when they saw it?
They liked it. They loved it. So
How
they
can
were
you not?
Great. This is, sorry you didn't feel like you could share with us, but, it's great anyway.
Well, what are we at? We're at 14,507,000 views 3 months in. So
let me share that real quick with you. That's just on YouTube. However, on Facebook, which is its own hosting program, its own hosting location, we have 58 million or 50 million plus views.
Whoa.
So that's a whole different, so you combine those together, and it's pretty intense. So
just let's understand the hosting location. So, listeners, Bobby, correct me if I'm wrong, but what you're saying is you have uploaded that video to a host, like maybe a Wistia or a video hosting service.
YouTube and both Facebook now is competing with YouTube as a place for people to go for videos, and so your YouTube views are not reflected. Or your Facebook views are not reflected in your YouTube count. Mm-hmm. So they're two separate, locations.
Gotcha. So you're actually not uploading it to a third-party video host. You're actually uploading it to Facebook's host and to YouTube's host. And they're okay. And between the two of them, you've got 64 million views.
Our Facebook location went more viral than YouTube.
Interesting. Well, actually, I must say that's where I found it. Tell me. what's it done for business?
It's, it's immense. It's crazy. Up, 600% the first couple of weeks. And now you get retailers wanting you that weren't interested before. And you have, the timing was great because it was right around Christmas. And so anywhere that it was located, we sold out, which was, and we had done a lot of planning. We expected it to go big, but not as big as it went. So it really blew our projections out of the water. And it's been a great, it just...
You're lost for words.
Yeah, I'm at a loss for words. I really am. I didn't know that it would go so well and convert. And that's the key. You can create something that's funny, but people have to buy. And I think this is where our agency came in handy, is they had done this before. They knew how to create something that would convert. So you don't just want to educate and entertain. You need to encourage them to buy it or make them feel like they need it. And that was done in this video.
What's the secret sauce there?
I think it was, and this is what, the director and kind of creator of the video we went over with again, was the kink unkink and creating that pinch point where, maybe I am pooping wrong. Maybe, I know my Aunt Phyllis, she's constipated. She could definitely use one of these. It's kind of that. And it was just, you can't watch any part of the video without showing that unicorn being kinked or unkinked in the colon. And obviously when using the Squatty Potty, the ice cream flows freely. So, I think that's what it was. I could be completely wrong. But.
And from a conversion point of view, because this is important, like literally getting people from watching an entertaining video to then going, I have that problem, I need one of those Squatty Potties, to then going from YouTube or Facebook to your website.
Right.
That's this is where marketing sort of becomes a very dark art in a sense, because this is not easy stuff. Because then when they're on the website, the user interface of your website has to take people very quickly to hitting the buy now button.
It's a funnel, yeah.
Is there a trick there?
Well, we did testing. We did A/B testing on our site to see which converted quicker and more. And so there was a lot of behind the scenes testing done to come up with the optimal site. And it wasn't the prettiest site, I'll tell you that much, but it was the one that converted the best. So we stuck with it. And
that is really interesting you say that, and I'm so glad you did, and I didn't have to say it because it's not. And I think sometimes we strive for pretty over conversion. Function. Yeah. Form over function.
Fashion. But it at the end of the day, you're you want to sell product, and so I had to give up my beautiful, clean, fun, modern site for one that was unicorns and princes, but it converted better. So it's what people wanted, and we went with it.
Love it. Now I know you've got to hop on a plane. Couple of questions before I let you go. I noticed that you have gone and created dedicated sites for about 20 countries where Squatty Potty is available, which I don't think I've seen that for a very long time. Is there a reason you've done that?
Well, so we have interest internationally. We actually have a distributor in Australia.
I know you do. Around there, up the road from me.
Yeah. So, it's just we require the distributors to create a site generally that goes with our theme, and that matches our brand, and most of them have willingly done it. So that's what happened. If they want to distribute, they're required to build a site, and that's what we've done.
Okay, so that's the distributor actually going and at their own cost and time building a site.
That's correct.
Do you lose control of the brand? Because it's interesting you say that, because when I went to the Australian Squatty Potty site, it didn't have the same brand cues, although the unicorn's there and there's certain visual cues, but it didn't have the same brand cues as the main site. Some
of them have done a better job than others, and we're working with them to get it up to speed. In fact, we've employed a new, a graphic designer that's set out Sanders and is sending them all the material and information they need to make it as easy as possible for them to do it. So yeah, it's a work in progress.
I wonder why you wouldn't just take on the task of building it for them and charging them, just cost. It's as much of to benefit to you to have a site that is on brand as to them to have a site that exists.
That's a great idea. Sometimes I think, That's a great idea, actually.
Very good. Where do I send that invoice, Bobby?
Right.
Hey, mate, you can pay me in Squatty Potties. I have loved talking to you. The minute I saw Squatty Potty, I'm like, I have to find that guy. I don't know who's invented it, but it's brilliant. And what caught my attention the most, and I think our big lesson here, is the courage to go with a big idea. It doesn't mean that you have to spend $250,000, $500,000 to bring a big idea to life, but I think we should all be more aware of big ideas to help promote our business.
The real courage came from my mother and I in the very beginning stages of this poop stool, this kind of crazy wackadoodle idea of a poop stool and making it into something. And that's, I think, more than anything, anyone, it can happen to anyone. It really can. It sounds so cliche, but it's so true.
Well, I think you've done a great job, mate, and I look forward to hearing how it progresses. And in fact, you've set the bar pretty high. And boy, mate, your next video has to be, I don't know.
I know. That's the thing. It gets more and more, the stakes get higher and higher. So, but I'm up to the task. Trust me. There's a lot of material, so that's good.
Bobby, people can find you over at squattypotty.com.
Yeah.
If they want to say hi to you, are you on Twitter?
Squatty Potty.
Good. Clever. Very clever. Hey, thanks for sharing some marketing gold, Bobby.
Awesome. Thanks, Tim.
Well, there you go, team. That was Bobby Edwards of Squatty Potty. Do you enjoy it? I kept on calling him Robbie. I did apologise post the interview, but it is Bobby Edwards. I loved bringing that one to you. Hey, I want to share my top 3 attention grabbers with you. Not necessarily learnings, but attention grabbers, things that grabbed my marketing brain. These are brought to you by Key Person of Influence, which is a 40-week incubator for business owners ready to be the go-to person in their industry. And you can register for their free one-day brand accelerator program over at keypersonofinfluence.com/Timbo. It's a great day. I suggest you go. And netregistry.com.au/Timbo. They've got 3 exclusive online marketing packages to help get your business found online. So thank you to those 2 companies for bringing these 3 attention grabbers to our attention. Number 1. Have the courage to go for a big idea. Whether that be a big marketing idea like having a unicorn demonstrate your product, to setting a Guinness World Record. Past guest Arthur Greeno has set 2 business Guinness Book of World Records and has been a great marketing play for his business and very brave things to do. Or it might be simply running with a brave subject line in your next email to get more people to open it. Try something that makes you feel slightly uncomfortable in your marketing, just like Bobby did. Attention grabber number 2. I love the fact that Bobby employed the video agency because he'd fallen in love with some previous work they'd done. So I suggest look out for marketing you love and then find who created it. Make a note of it. It might be a logo, so find the graphic designer. It might be great copy, so go and find the copywriter and start to build a list, a database of people whose marketing you've really appreciated. Attention grabber number 3. Don't underestimate the power of Facebook videos. Hey, there's a big learning there. I guess we all think YouTube as being the home of video, which it kind of is. But 15 million views on YouTube versus 50 million on Facebook, that's quite some difference. Is that like 300% more? Something like that. Test it for yourself. Let me know. Hey, what was your biggest takeaway or attention grabber in that interview? Head over to smallbusinessbigmarketing.com and leave a comment in the show notes for episode 294. I read them all, my guests read them all, and we respond. The late Steve Jobs once said, "Why join the Navy when you can be a pirate?" Arr. Righto, team, I reckon that's enough. What a fun episode today. Did you enjoy it? I did. Loving bringing these shows to you. If you are enjoying listening to them, could you go and tell another motivated business owner about the show? I'd love that. Sort of play it, what do you say, pay it forward? I'd really appreciate that. Send them an email with a link to the show. smallbusinessbigmarketing.com. Hey, plenty of marketing gold coming your way in the weeks ahead. Next week, next episode, we're joined by past guest YouTube rock star Melissa Maker of Clean My Space, who's going to give us a bit of an update on what she's up to, and it includes hanging out with one of the stars of Modern Family, all because she creates very helpful marketing. That's pretty cool. Be sure to use NetRegistry if you need a website or you need to get your website found. They have exclusive packages over at netregistry.com.au/Timbo. And if you're not one of the thousands of listeners who've grabbed a hard copy of the Key Person of Influence Amazon bestseller, then I'd suggest you do. Head over to keypersonofinfluence.com/Timbo. Big thanks to audio geek extraordinaire Daryl Misson for making this show sound like it does, and to Lockie Doley for taking responsibility for this show's music bed. Because I've got to tell you, team, I am completely tone deaf. If you want to surround yourself with other motivated business owners, then join the Small Business Big Marketing Forum over at crankmymarketing.com. $69 a month, 30-day, no questions asked, money-back guarantee. Where is the risk, I ask? Only upside there. Hey, if you need a speaker for an upcoming event, timreid.com.au. Book me. Maybe you're a member of a Chamber of Commerce. Love to come and speak to your Chamber of Commerce. You're my sweet spot. Until next week, I'm Timbo Reid. Thanks for listening to the Small Business Big Marketing Show. May your marketing be the best marketing. Bye for now.